were you on the main stage at Second City eventually?
Mainstage, yeah. I did about 3 years on the main stage.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So I was in the.
Was that like a goal of yours? Were you excited about that?
Well, the second that you start doing anything in Chicago improv wise, that's everyone's goal.
That's the epitome.
So, the way that SNL would be a goal for anyone who's just starting it at anywhere, that was in Chicago. I mean, really, to this day, it's still the only sketch comedy theater that you can, there's
Survive.
6 jobs open where you can do that. Now, I also did freelance advertising work during those years as a copywriter. So I was adding to help pay bills that way. But like, it's a full time. It's 6 nights a week, 8 shows a week.
Yeah.
So Monday's your off night, and you got the city to yourself. And it is truly like, and I've had some fun jobs already, but there's really nothing like performing on that stage.
Oh, yeah.
It's.
I like that. I like the schedule of Broadway or
that picture
improv.
is up.
Del Close. He's pointing.
Del's picture is up where only the performers can see on the back.
Oh, cool! That exact one.
That one.
Oh,
yeah.
I stole that from UCB.
Yeah. Well, good. You should. They've got more. I promise.
So you never did like cruises or tours or anything because you went to the main stage and that's the big show.
No,
the cruises and stuff is like the minor leagues, right?
Yeah, but I did tour first, which is kind of the tour. There's 3 touring companies, and everyone there is trying to go to the main stage or to the ETC. And I was lucky. Yeah, I toured with T.J. Miller and
that's great.
Christina Anthony and Megan Grano and Megan Flanagan, Tom Flanagan, Rob Jan. I mean, just really, really funny people that. Aren't all household names, but are just really fantastic performers and writers. Yeah.
So, what was when and why did you come to LA then?
I mean, honestly, it was always a thing. It was either New York or LA. I remember going to do a daily show, like test thing in New York, and for the Daily Show to be a correspondent.
Oh wow!
And I'm thinking like, well, SNL, they would come through. Lauren would come through a little bit. Just never had the opportunity to be on that show or go and do.
You never auditioned for SNL?
Never auditioned.
Oh wow, that's shocking to me. That's shocking.
But it was always like New York or LA. And then the truth was, I was coming to LA when I was done. When I announced I was going to stop touring. A spot became available soon later on the main stage.
Of course.
And so they were like, oh, well, it was a director. The director has a lot to say. It was a director that I'd worked with years before on other sketch shows. And so he threw my name in there, I think, and it all worked out. But well,
that's the standard. Once you're uninterested or moving on, that's when they want
that's what they say. I mean, honestly, I think the other way to look at it is like, I think more times than not, people leave and then they leave. But I just, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it.
We don't ever see those people.
I think that would be more in the luck category. But yeah, maybe, you're right. Yeah. I mean, they did offer me at one point to do a show in Las Vegas, and I had some good friends that were performing in it. And I remember them saying,
Rob Belushi did that.
He did that. It was before Rob. It was Andy St. Clair.
Oh, sure.
Was in the show, and we were good friends, and he's like, hey, I think they might offer you, I'm hearing they might offer you this thing. We'd love to have you out here. It's super fun. And I know Sudeikis had done it.
Sure.
And I'd seen that show with he and Kay, and I was like, oh, that could be fun, although I'm a little scared about, like, living in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So they took me to lunch. Kelly Leonard, who's a producer at Second City, took me to lunch, and he's like, hey, do you want to do this thing in Vegas? And I'm like, I'm kind of like, and I had already announced I was leaving.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, like, I think if I were to stay, it wouldn't be for like. I think like maybe it's before I said I was leaving. Whatever it was, I was like, you know what? I really prefer to do like a stage here. It means a lot to me. I grew up coming to these, all that stuff. And he's like, okay, well, just so you know, this might be the only time you're offered a resident stage, which I appreciated him saying because it made me go home. I was like, can I think about it for a night? And I thought about it and was like, no, I'll roll the dice. And I think you know what I mean? And so I was planning on coming out here. Basically, like there's a guy named Dave Pasquazi who you might know. You should have him on your show. He's out here a lot. He does a lot of stuff. I will. And great, like incredibly talented. So TJ and Dave, that's their show.
Yeah.
And Dave is a hero of mine. And And TJ, and like those guys have great lives. They're like Chicago's amazing, but I think I would have regretted not because I came back from Chicago and came there to do that stuff. If I didn't try, even at in my 34 when I came out here, if I hadn't tried it, I think I would have regretted it,
right?
And I'm glad that I.
Why did you come to LA? Is 3 years a long time on the main stage for somebody? Did you feel like you had accomplished everything you needed to, and it was just time to move on?
I was done. You just never want to be. You never want to go. First of all, there's so many people waiting to do that job.
Yeah, you don't want to,
and you don't want to be there when you're especially
if you're not, camp on the bong, as they say.
You don't want to camp on the bong. Thank you, but you don't want to do it. Also, like you don't ever want to go there and. Not like that's one of those gigs like being a professional baseball player. Like if you show up to the ballpark and you're like, another day at the ballpark, like what am I doing? So it's a combination of all those things. Yeah.